Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're episode 253 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's just a clone with me tonight?
Hi, it's me, Milt. I'm back again, and I'm bridling with so much rage as I killed Vader like 20 minutes ago.
We're just a clone to you. Hi, it's Trey from Nintendo Main Podcast, and I have to say, Master Coda, we should have just killed him. That guy's fucking annoying. Like really, like was he that mean in the second, in the first one? I don't remember.
No, but you don't have any other agency to push this boy forward except his own. I need to find her. Ah! He's like, oh,
like
okay.
what are you doing? What are you doing over there? It's like I'm running through the hallway. Leave me alone.
I'm running through the only hallway that's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not that many levels. We got to do something. Stop. Get off my ass, man. Trying to take my time. This game will be like 2 hours long instead of 1.
So we are here for a long-awaited finishing up the sequel, The Force Unleashed, with Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. Came out in 2010, developed and published by LucasArts. We did the first one on the show a few years ago, and I was going to do the second one, but then I couldn't convince anybody, the people that were on there, to come back, so I didn't get around to it for a while. Weird, huh? People didn't want to play this one.
I mean,
but
I wanted to play it just because I never did, I guess, and I really, really liked the first one. So then I saw that you posted it somewhere, and I commented on it as I do, and I ended up buying it for like $8. So there you go.
You lucky bastard! I paid $20, and I feel robbed every second.
No.
Oh, I played the original when I was a kid, and I loved it. And I played this one too, and I remember being like really indifferent. But now that I've played it, I'm ooh.
Our episode came out in March of 2021 for the first one, so that's how long it's been.
What was the release date on this one? Like I was trying to remember like where I was in time. Like I think it was like right after
October 26, 2010.
Okay, because I bought a PS3 like in 2009, and I was like just kind of playing like catch up, like just getting older games. I basically bought it just to play Yakuza 3. But yeah, I was going through and it finally being in the HD world or whatever, because I had just played Wii before that. And I remember this coming out, and I was like, well, I could get it for PS3, and it got like a 4 on IGN on the PS3. And it actually got a better review for the Wii just because of the extra game on there, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I remember, I guess I must have like crossed my radar for a second, but I just didn't think about it because I didn't want to pay full price, or I didn't know if I should get the PS3 version or the Wii version or whatever, and then I just never played it until now. So
you should get neither, is what the life was telling you. But
yeah. It was whatever. It was fine. It's not. I mean, obviously, it's not as good as the first one.
No, I bought this game for $360. I'm assuming I paid between $10 and $15 for it. Is my guess. I beat it back in the day. I remember it being super short, and then I hadn't really thought much about it. I picked it up for PC for this episode. I don't even know when, but I'm guessing for under $5. And finally, it was some deep cut sale. But that's I didn't remember much. I just remember the game was short. I remember the ending. And I was like, well, we're never getting 3. So, but that's my history with it. What about you, Milk?
I played the original, loved it. I remember I have played this once before, but I didn't remember. I posted the trailer in chat. There was a trailer for this game that was so cool, and it's this edgy little edgelord back when even younger Milk was like, oh, I love the edge. I just want to be closer. I was never too edgy. But I like playing with edgy characters and being like, oh, Shadow with a gun. So deep, so much egg. and so Galen Merrick, i.e. Starkiller, playing this game. I was like, whoa, this trailer's so cool. He's like, he doesn't know who he is, and he has all these internal struggles, and there's Yoda's voice. What's going on? And then I remember being super indifferent, and I'm so upset I paid $20. I worked so hard. I don't know if this is kosher. I meant to ask. I didn't think about it. I was wanting to torrent this game so bad because I'm like, I don't want to give these people money. I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. I'm not going to be like, oh, that was 20, whatever money well spent.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what you do. You should look what I promote on the show all the time, like how to play games when you can't get anymore.
Pretty sure one of us plays things not the legal way a lot, i.e. the host of the show.
Yeah, I could not find anyone seating this game for more than like 5 seaters, which is like very slow. Like I have a fiber, and I was like, oh, I can't download them in time. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just buy. And then I also read the PC reviews, and I was like, oh, a lot of people even today are saying this game is buggy as hell on PC. I was like, totally fine. I'll buy it on Xbox then. It's worth the 20, so it's not crashing. Holy hell, the audio was fucked the whole time. It was like poppy, and it was a lot of it sounded like it was coming through a filter. And it wasn't my TV because I booted up another game. I'm like, yep, it works great. God, this game is so bad. Fuck.
See, I didn't have that problem. It ran fine for me on PC. I don't think it even crashed. But then again, to be fair, it didn't have enough time to crash either because I beat it in like 4 hours. So
yeah, you probably beat it in one sitting. I'd take it, right?
I didn't. I played through each level in about one sitting.
Oh, okay. Because I thought about I knew I looked at like how long to beat and all that, and I figured it was short, and I figured I'd just do it over the weekend, So, and I started playing it. When I started playing it on Wednesday, I played through one whole level or whatever the opening thing is, where you go to the first planet, and then I just kind of spread it out. And I played most of it on Friday, and then I did both endings last night against Darth Vader and all that. So, and I'm not the only one that's playing the Wii version, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Wii version is better in both of them. I think. Like I love the first one. I know, like whatever. Nobody likes the Wii anymore. But at the time, like I played the shit out of that first one, and the motion control actually worked pretty well. Like it felt almost like 1-to-1 and all that. And it was really disappointing in this one that they got rid of that. The motion control isn't there anymore. Now you just tap A bunch. I'm like, well, this is a letdown. Because I actually really liked the first one, like swinging the arm around and all that. And I guess now you have 2 lightsabers, so it's more difficult. And now you just shake your arm whenever you do like your super force move or whatever, and it's not.
Well, that's what happens when you make a game in 9 months. That's considered a AAA game. This is what happens, by the way.
Yeah.
And this wasn't LucasArts' fault, or not the developer. They were fucking rushed for some reason with this, because Force Unleashed 1 did so good. Like, well, we got to release something immediately. Like, guys, it will go down in history if you release something immediately. Well, they didn't care. So,
well, I mean, that was another part of it too. Like why I didn't play it is like the main character like died in the first one, and it was part of like creating the rebellion and all this stuff, and it was important. And it's like, no, and they're like, well, he died, but now he's a clone. Hey, you want to play as a clone, right? And I'm like, no.
Oh, but is he a clone?
We never really find out if he's a clone or not.
I hate.
Oh yeah, they do that, and it's I guess like I don't know if I was gonna say. Do you even want to talk about the ending already? We probably want to wait till that.
We can wait on the ending, but like the story of this is that he dies in the first game, like you were saying, if you get the good ending. And then in this, he wakes up in Kamino and Darth Vader tells him a clone, but throughout the whole game, you're trying to figure out, is he actually a clone or is he the same person? Because when you meet General Kota from the first game, he's always telling him, well, I sense the same. There's no way you're a clone because you can't clone Force DNA, which... At the time of this, when this game came out, this was considered supposed to be canon.
Unless you're the Emperor. Like, he got cloned multiple times in the books before the movies even, so... Yeah,
and they're trying to fix that, too, like, with The Mandalorian, so it makes more sense in Rise of Skywalker, so it doesn't sound as stupid. They're working on it.
But even at the time of this, like, in the, like, in the novels or whatever, in the Star Wars books, Emperor had come back, like, through being cloned and all that stuff.
Dark Empire, yeah. Which is on this podcast, too, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't like, whatever.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, in the Star Wars world, it's possible to clone someone with Force. It's just not easy, and it takes a lot of effort, but you can do it. But I don't like the fact that question doesn't really get answered in this, because this is such a, like, we're going to make a trilogy, so we're just going to put this out there, and then we'll get to it later. We just have to release something quickly because our overlords are making us.
Sure. Did you ever did any of you ever read like the 90s Spider-Man comics, like with Ben Reilly and all that stuff, and the clones and the Jackal and all that stuff?
No.
This game kind of reminds me of that. With like, they were back in the late 90s, they did this whole like clone thing where there was a clone of Spider-Man named Ben Reilly, and they did this whole thing where one of them thought was that they were the real Spider-Man, and it kept going back and forth. And it's kind of like this story where it's like, am I a clone? Am I not a clone? I don't know. Like, and the villain like kind of like warped their minds and all that. And some of this, it kind of felt like they just stole like a Spider-Man maximum clonage and put it in this game, and it's just not as well developed and all that.
I would bet money if I went to AO3, which is a fan fiction website, and went to Force Unleashed, and went to, I don't know, I guess sorted by like hits, both like upvotes essentially, and I went, I don't know, 3 pages deep. I would bet all of those would have better plots than this fucking game. I can't believe the first game is so, to my memory, and I remember playing it a little bit earlier this year. I played like half of it, and I was like, I'm content. This is fine. The story in the first one is so like worth being there, and it makes you care about characters, and it builds them up slowly, and it makes them do this. This one is just like, everybody, fuck it, they're all here. Like, ooh, I
guess.
I need to find some way to talk about this without just like unloading. Because
no, you can bitch about this game. I mean, the whole world is bitched about this game. Like, I didn't even think this game would still be buyable because LucasArts doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I was surprised to find out this game, the first game, got released on Switch. I did not believe that.
It's also the Wii version on Switch, which is pretty.
I'm gonna play that next time. I want to play that because
no, you should. I mean, well, I don't know. I never got around to playing the PS3 360 version, but I loved the Wii version.
It's not that. I mean, the main game is not that different.
Yeah, I played it multiple times, and you could unlock all these costumes, and you could play as like Lando and like all this stupid shit. And I just like played through it over and over again because I was like, this game's gonna be funny if I play through it as like Princess Leia or something, just because they had all these dumb costumes that you could unlock. You could be like Mara Jade also from the books, and
Clone Wars Star Killer graphics. You like
and it had like
cell shaded.
It was kind of. I mean, I think it's. I mean, from this one, it's just like there's not a whole lot of textures. Like his face looks really like smooth. It's like smooth Star Killer, Which it's just so sad that Greed does things like that. Like, I think this is LucasArts' last game they made too, because they were getting shut down or having a lot of issues. Yeah, wow. I was gonna say one of the things that I did like about the game is I guess it's not even the game. I guess it's just the nostalgia of the time. But I was like, man, I miss when Disney did not own Star Wars. That was when I was playing it. It kind of reminded me of the golden age when nobody really cared about Star Wars except for me because everyone hated the prequels or whatever. And that was kind of nice. It wasn't just like constantly shoved down your throat by multiple Disney Plus shows, or J.J. Abrams hadn't completely ruined the series yet or anything like that. So,
I'm just double checking. We all played this on the DS, right? That would be a different
experience.
Oh, no, it is. I just was shocked when I was looking up the Metacritic scores. It was like, on DS. And I would rather have played the DS.
Huh? Yeah, Force Unleashed 2 is on DS.
Oh, shit. I could have got that version. Man, what am I doing? I'm an idiot playing the Wii version. God.
It looks so much more fun. Like, I'm seriously, like, and it's also, this playthrough is 3 hours, so it would have been even shorter.
I do have to say, Chris, I mean, as far as the Wii version, because I remember reading the reviews on IGN, and they gave it what they gave for the PS3 360 version. And they gave the Wii a 7.5, which is actually good, because there's like this Smash Brothers extra multiplayer game in the Wii version that isn't in anything else, which would give some legs to the game, which is pretty cool. It's basically a 2D multiplayer game. I played it a little bit. Unfortunately, you can't play against the computer, which sucks. So you can only play as against actual people, which nobody. I just played by myself, but I used 2 controllers. But still, it's like. Yeah, it has like these these like 2D levels, and you unlock levels as you go through the game, and you have characters you can play as, and you jump around and hit each other, and you have special moves just like Smash Brothers. It actually feels a lot more like PlayStation All Stars if you ever played that game, like where you have a life bar, and when you run out of your life bar, you get knocked out. But that was pretty cool on there, and that intrigued me about getting it originally because the Force Unleashed 1 on Wii had a really awesome almost like kind of like Street Fighter 2D battle mode attached to it as well that was fucking fun as hell. So I was intrigued by that. So at least they got that. I mean, that gives it a little bit extra legs if you have somebody who will sit there and play this fucking thing. And it was 4-player too. So there you go. And you can play as Massage Ventress. She's in there. And I was like, is she in the game? Nope, not there. Just in the multiplayer game. I was like, damn it.
Well, at the time in canon, which is still canon, she was Clone Wars hadn't happened yet at this time in 2010. It hadn't finished.
The Gendy Tartakovsky one had happened.
Oh yeah, and she was in that, and then that was canon. But
first showed up.
But I think by now she wouldn't be canon.
Actually, no. The Clone Wars TV show started in 2008, so it was totally already existing.
Okay, she couldn't. She technically dies in the Clone Wars, but that hadn't happened yet.
Well, she dies season 5 or something.
She doesn't even die in the show because they cut the arc. but they wrote a book that was supposed to be one of the story arcs, and that's where she dies.
The Wii version of The Force Unleashed also has a multiplayer game. I'm learning that wasn't in the other ones.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
The Wii version is not bad for the first one. I never played the second one, but I did play the first one Wii version. But like,
the motion control.
This game, it just depends on what you're looking for. I think if you bought this game for like $5 on a Steam sale and it's 2023 and you're like, I need something quick to play in between other episodes when I cover a big RPG for the show, and you're like, I just need to kill things and beat up stuff quickly. It's perfect for that. You just can't go into this game like. Also, I'm pretty. I have a problem with it too. It's not a good game, but it's just like if you look at like a fun beat 'em up, the problem is that Force Unleashed 1 is a good game.
Yeah.
And you want more, and then you get this, which feels like it just doesn't feel like a full game or anything of that nature, and it doesn't continue his story, and it's the end of his story, and it's just go to 3 different areas, kill things, and game over.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's like Fury Road, but like bad. Where you just you just go one way and then you turn around and come back. Like it's basically it's a Fury Road was boring and like had less places. I guess Fury Road is just one place, but it's just they go straight and then they stop and then they come back, but it's like really exciting, and that's kind of what this is, but not exciting.
Well, you have your escape on Camino, then you have where you go to some planet to rescue General Coda, where you destroy an entire city of endless troops.
And you kind of and it's like, and you fight this is bigger than the Rancor. I mean, that's kind of like an early Force Awakens idea there too, right? Where it's like, let's not have anything cool. Let's just have a monster that's bigger and just call it a different thing and say, oh no, but this one can eat Rancors. It killed the Rancor. It was cool. You could tell, right?
Yep, they show it.
What is that thing called even? Do you remember the monster?
Balrog?
It was something weird like that.
Like that.
Balrog. I'm thinking of Balrog from
it's a boxer.
Street Fighter.
It's not around long, but it's just there. I mean, it's a cool boss fight. Like, I don't mind that it's gimmicky, that it's just like, here, use your force power, because it's technically your first boss fight in the game. The issue with it is there's only one other boss fight really in this game.
It's the Gorog. That's what it is. The Gorog.
Gorog.
But also, like, the planet he's on is, as a guy who watched way too much Star Wars, it's probably a separatist planet, because the aliens that are also there are all the green guys, which are separatists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, little thing, but I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
The super, the super offensive, you'll block, it's perfectly legal, like those guys.
They're separatists. They joined the Separatist Alliance and
not racist at all, those characters, not at all.
Oh, they're racist, all right. That was...
I'm saying they're awful. They always hated those characters so much.
Yeah, you don't see them very often because they realize they're racist. They kind of like, we're not going to have these that much and things. So, but again, when you have 9 months to make a game, you're like, what can we do? It just makes me so upset that LucasArts was like that, but I'm guessing they were bleeding money at this time.
Yeah,
too.
They were desperate. You said it. This was their last game, and the Force Unleashed was a hit, and they're like, oh, fuck, if we could capitalize on this, maybe we'll make the comeback. And no.
Well, not 9 months.
I mean, they did get canned after the Disney acquisition and all that, which I thought was sad. And from what I read in the Wikipedia, they were planning on making a Force Unleashed 3 for Wii U. I would have played the shit out of that game. That would have been awesome.
Yes, you would have.
So this game, I think its existence bastardizes everything. I don't think this should exist in any capacity. Dude, I remember when I was hearing about that Starkiller's name is referenced in the new trilogy. Just the name is said. There's no context. It's like, I never watched them all, but I think it's when they're like thinking about other Jedi and they're like, oh, and then Starkiller is like, oh, and I was like, this
Starkiller base. That's how it's referenced.
Is that? Oh,
yeah, because the base is called Starkiller in Force Awakens. That's
I thought it was when they were like listing off like Jedi or like.
I don't think they ever say Galen Merrick or anything like that.
They don't say that.
He doesn't say something to Rey in the final movie or whatever when they have their like on your left bullshit moment and Rise of Skywalker.
I hope they retcon that, because in that continuality, Ahsoka's dead, and that upsets me. So
yeah, they it was the first one. I think just had so much worth existing, even if it's edgy. This game also is just like here's the two best things about this game. The second to last area you're running through, or you have to go through, which is just a return to, is it Camino? Is that the cloud planet?
Yeah.
I do like Kamino though. That's one of my favorite like prequel planets or whatever, just because it's storming all the time, and
it's clearly one of their favorites because they're like, we're just going to make this half the game is Kamino.
Yeah. Except
but
they didn't have the giant long neck characters that sit in the big miso spoons from the movie.
I'm sure
we'd be dead by then. I don't know.
And you need them to operate the cloning facilities, by the way, just to be fair. Yeah. I know way too much Star Wars canon. You can't. Yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about in episode 2 where they sit in the giant spoons, though, right?
Yep.
And spin the spoons that look like the Japanese spoons.
But my two favorite things is in the second to last area on the last level of the last section Kamino. You can just run through it. You don't have to fight anyone. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I just ran through and I got to Vader. My second favorite thing, there is the Ultimate Edition for this game is unlisted. I think if you boot it up on Xbox 360, if you really want to do that, you could buy it. But on any other version, it's not available.
There's an Ultimate Edition of this game?
Yeah, I think it's just a DLC where it's just like a season pass. It gets you, I'm guessing, everything.
There's only one DLC for this game compared to like two.
There was two. There's a character pack, which I bought for $1, and then a bonus mission, which I also bought for $1. And the second best thing about this game is if you buy the character pack, you can play and see 80% of this game's plot as Admiral
Akbar, essentially.
Yep, Akbar. And that's how I played most of this game, and it made it a lot more enjoyable. Just be like, well, I have so many pictures of Vader and Akbar fighting. It was, I made you, like all these subtitles at the bottom where it's like, I want this lore. I want Force Unleashed to end, and then he clones Akbar, and Akbar's like, he's like, oh shit, Akbar's a Jedi now. Akbar's coming back for me. Akbar's also in love with this girl. It's just actually Akbar with Starkiller's memory. And then the cloning process isn't bad, but yeah.
Oh, this game took me 3.9 hours to beat, not even 4.
I was playing it on hard, and I think I got through like a half of it in about that time, and then I moved it down to normal just so I could speed through it faster. Because
played on easy.
This game has, I think, including the random semi-clones at the end, and bosses, if you want to do that, I'd say like 10 to 12 enemies. That's it. That's this whole game.
Yeah, it's really small.
I don't know if this is in the version that you played, but do you get like the rage move where you can kill everybody in one hit?
Yes.
Yes.
You do that? Because once I got that, I used that on everything, and it was just like, it's like, oh, here's 5 more guys, rage kill. It's like, oh, here's 5 more guys, rage kill.
Do you mean the meter that charges up?
Yeah, you mean the meter.
Yeah.
You get a meter, and you instant kill everybody, and I just instant killed everybody. I instant killed Vader. Well, I did it a couple times, but the first time you fight him, it was hard for me to get a hit in, so I just built up my rage meter and just raged him.
My meter did not charge that fast. I think I only got the option to use it maybe 6 times throughout the entire game.
I didn't use it much. I just didn't bother. I was like, I don't like it, so I just didn't use it.
Anytime it was like, here's.
I hated those like robots with the shields, like rage kill them, like the little mini entities, rage kill that. Like
I didn't mind
rage
them.
kill everything.
I didn't mind them the first time. I minded them maybe the 48th time. They were like, oh, no, those guys again. I'm just like, please.
Well, this is a game where, like,
good kill.
Like you said, they don't have many enemy types, and they just reuse them over and over and over again.
It's kind of like Arkham Asylum, except that game was good. Where they throw Bane at you about 20 times.
That's the one issue with that game. There are too much Bane fights. But with this game, I mean, I didn't really have a problem with all like the stupidity stuff of like constantly fighting like some of the mini bosses over and over again. Like I didn't mind that. I would even do like the little QTE events with them because I just kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was wondering how that works because on the Wii one you do like the move your Wiimote to the right, move your Wiimote up, like stab the screen, whatever.
2010, baby, we doing action button sequence pressing. This game
like
is also
press X.
I mean, moving the Wiimote was kind of fun. I mean, it was all right. I mean, shaking the Wiimote whenever you get choked by Vader was annoying, but you kind of do double shake for everything.
If you want to just go play a 2010 ass game, this is it. It has fucking quick time events. It has button mashing. And it's only 4 hours, and then you could leave and probably feel about this game how you probably would about other game tropes from 2010 of just kind of disgust and sadness.
As long as you don't buy it for like $20, right?
22 if we want to count the 2 pieces of DLC. But hey, I got to play Akbar, so that at least $1 was worth it. Don't buy this game for more than $5. Don't. It's not worth it. Go buy the first one.
I bought it for $9. Man, I failed. No, it was just, I'll add it to my Wii collection. Like I said, I wanted to see what it was like, and I did. I'll probably never play it again. But
also they had to. This same company in those 9 months, I think, made every version of this game too.
Wow, that is actually, I feel bad and impressed.
like they were just, I don't even want to know how much they were working like to do this. Like I'm assuming 9 months this was their life.
I was gonna say I thought that there were different companies for the Wii version and the
I don't think it was. I know for the first one it was, but I'm not seeing on here if it was different.
Because they had a weird, what was it? Yeah, it was like they had a weird name that I didn't recognize. Maybe that's why it wasn't on the first one.
First one, I mean, also what has to be said about the first game too, because this is kind of what Force Unleashed did in general, which makes this game even suck more, is that when Force Unleashed came out, it was such a revitalize of Star Wars again, because this is stuff taking place during the original trilogy. You know, we're gonna have these we're gonna have these games that, well, only one game at the time, but it was such a big push. You had toys, you had everything, and when you get to this game, I mean, the hype leading up to this game was, probably insane. People because we're getting more, what's going to happen? We're getting more stuff that's going to eventually link to the movies, and then you get a rushed game that lasts 4 hours and has like no story other than Juno's alive. I gotta go find Juno, and yeah, that's essentially the story of this game.
Yeah, and a lot of it's everybody's. Oh, I thought you were dead.
They have this game has, I think, if you want to count like notable characters, 5. Wait a minute. Doesn't he? Oh, he sends Boba Fett and he gets the girl. That's all your Boba Fett. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Boba Fett follows him in the end when they capture Vader, because Boba Fett's going to be in the sequel. Nope.
Oh, I
just wait for that sequel to come out. You just have to enter a different dimension.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought you were going to at least get to fight. I mean, there's a part where I'm sure that's in the other one where you get to you try to pull Boba Fett's ship out of the space or whatever.
No, you don't do that in this game.
Oh, okay.
No, but you just get rammed.
Where he's trying to leave the ship and you try to pull him back into the ship, and then he I don't know, so the ceiling collapses on you or something, and then he gets away.
You fall to a planet out of a falling starship after you re-enter atmosphere, and you get rammed midair by a TIE fighter. An event that in any other Star Wars game would be like, oh, your character instantly died, haha, try again. And this motherfucker just takes it and then catches it and slows it down and spins it 360 degrees 5 times and then chucks it. And with the momentum he's done with that, falls down and lands in the facility. My partner was watching. My partner hates Star Wars, and they were just like, no, even for Star Wars, no. And I was like, thank you. Yes, we're at this point.
This game is stupid at times. The
first one is stupid. The first one where he pulls down a Star Destroyer, and everyone's like, that's ridiculous. This would make him one of the strongest characters in the universe. It's stupid. I'm like, that's fair, but it's also cool. This is stupid just for you couldn't cut. He didn't have to land into a fucking TIE fighter. He could have just fell in. Why? Oh, it makes me so mad, Mike. I love you, but there's nothing I think I will play for this show that's going to make me more upset. I'm calling that shot.
3, here we come.
And it's going to be so close. I'm honestly excited to know which one I'm going to hate more.
Yeah, but I gotta play more though, so I can't guarantee it's gonna happen too soon. But
yeah, it's fine. I need some time.
What was the other one that you thought might be worse than this one?
Oh, Dead Rising 3.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't help me, Trey. That doesn't give me any sort of hope for that experience when it happens.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played it, but yeah, probably because nobody said anything about
it. We were talking about plot. Camino, you go save Coda. There's 5 characters. It's Coda, the protagonist, Darth Killer, Darth Vader. I'm so upset. And Juno. You go save Coda. You go to Dagobah for 5 minutes. You bump into Yoda. I love that they were like, oh, if we put Yoda in here, smokes, that'll sell this shit. You just bump into Yoda. You're like, hey, Yoda, can I go in? Yoda's like, yeah, you're good, dog. And then you say, all right, thanks, Yoda. I saw some fucked up shit. I gotta go. I know where Juno is now. I figured it out. Gotta go. And then you go try to save Juno and ship. And then ship go back to fucking rainy planet. And then that's the game. Then you fight Vader.
Yep.
They couldn't even put a level in Dagobah, a small little thing where you when you go in there and you see all the clones, you fight yourself or something. They just we don't have time for this.
Yeah.
There was some platforming in there. Did you not have that?
And some holocrons. You got some bonus little goodie bags. Thanks for visiting. Please head back out the way you came.
You get some lightsaber crystals or whatever. Yeah, because there's that there's the platforming thing where you have to get your shadow self across the chasm or whatever.
What?
That's all right.
That wasn't in our version.
No, that was not.
Oh, really? Well, it's there's basically you go into the cave and there's a mirror and you see your clone self or whatever, or your other clone self on the other side of the mirror, and then it's a top down thing, and there's these little platforms that you jump to, and they're different on both sides, and you have to figure out which ones because if you jump to the wrong one, they die, and then you start over again. You don't have that?
Not in our version. Our version is you see like the clones in the vines, they try to grab him, and then he walks through, and that's the end of it.
And then he gets a cutscene with Juno, and he's like, "Oh, that's where Juno is. Okay, I gotta go now."
Well, there is like a level in the Dagobah one on Wii.
But that's cool. They did that though. I know the Wii has a few extra things that the PS3 and 360 version don't have in PC.
But it's the better version.
No, it's a completely different level. Fun fact, like it's not like basically imagine for you who played the Wii, you have the ship area. And then there's like a semicircle around the ship. You jump up. There's one path that then leads to Yoda, and then you walk in and get a cutscene, and that's it. And you move some rocks to find things. On the Wii version, it is a whole like linear route that you have to walk for like 4 minutes before you find Yoda, and then you get to do all this stuff that you're talking about. That was not a thing at all. Wow, that actually looks really cool, man. That Wii version, and also I'm gonna say the way this game did graphics, it looks really weird in like. For the time it came out for the Xbox 360, but like the Wii, it just looks like it fits. I'm like, yeah, this feels nice. I'm fine with this.
It looks like a Wii game. Like I said, it's devoid of textures. Like it's smooth Star Killer, but whatever. Oh. But yeah, you get a whole level in there with some platforming stuff.
Is this where they teach you mind tricking? Because there's a little cutscene where he like tries to use force powers.
Yeah, they do. They teach you mind tricking and
wow, yeah, at a different part in the other version. Yeah, they just go, oh, here's how you do it. All right, no reason. Keep going. They just have you force some dude out a window. Like, there you go. Learn mind tricking. All right, see ya.
Super edgy.
Which makes a lot more sense because in the final fight against Vader, which is, well, also, I'm going to argue, one of the worst boss fights for a video game I've ever had, one of the final boss fights. They're like, hey, mind trick these weird semi-clones of yourself, which is definitely a throwback to this mission because that's where they're basically like weird semi-clones of you that you mind trick. And then
they tell you to do that? That's what I did on my own without... They didn't say anything, but yeah, the clones show up, and I mind tricked them so Vader would go fight them, and then I basically stabbed Vader in the back while he was doing that.
Yep, like that one you get a little pop up in the other versions to be like, "Hey, you should do this right now." By the way, and I was like, "Okay, I haven't used this mechanic the whole rest of the game, so why not?"
Yeah, I forgot that I had it because I was rage killing everybody. I was like, "Oh yeah, the mind control. I forgot about that." I was like, "Oh sure."
Wow, this Wii version. Honestly, I would pay $20 for this Wii version. That like just saw like the little differences I've seen.
You can get it for $9, complete a box from eBay. That's what I did. It took like a couple days to get here, but yeah, it was worth it.
But Milk, then you would have spent $30 on this game. Do you want that to be your legacy?
I don't know if you necessarily need to go through it again, but I stand by saying that the Wii version is better. Even though I
want to play the DS version now, by the way. Like, I looked up the DS version. It's a 2D side-scroller. I'm like, I kind of want to play this.
Well, because I'm realizing, and this is another thing that is really fucking me up, I talked about a little bit, is the marketing for this game. The marketing, from what I remember from this time, was all about the HD cutscenes, and there's like these crazy scenes of all these dudes. And the Wii isn't like that, obviously. They weren't like, here's the Wii cutscene. And I think even the HD cutscenes, it looks like a lot of them were like panels, like images, which totally makes sense. It just all looks like it's well more of a thought out, put together experience. This, like, having an HD cutscene of where your clones are kind of reaching out at you slowly and you're like, oh, that's kind of spooky. And then it's like, all right, you're done, is like nothing. Having a whole cutscene or a mission where it's like, oh, you're interacting with these weird semi-clones and oh, you just watched yourself die. Nope, actually that was a clone who walked in this room 10 seconds before you did. Now he's being sucked up by the vines and there you actually are. It's really neat. Like, the whole shit here. This is a rad-looking mission. Oh, I hate this game.
Yeah, we just got to the cave, and that was the end of it for us. We didn't do anything in the cave.
I got a pretty cutscene. You know what? Graphics over gameplay, my friends. That's what the message is.
I mean, to be fair, that was a thought pattern at one time, like big time for games, and this era would have been it. So
yes, and I could see why. But like, there's even a cutscene at the end of this mission where you're trapped in like a glass vase and you see your clones and Darth Vader surrounding Juno and they're murdering her and you're like freaking out. And I'm like, wow, there's so much meat on this. There's more, I think, quality content in this one mission than in any of the other versions of this game. I'm going to say that.
So you're like me in one of the other episodes. Tell me where the game hurts you. Here, hurt me here, and here, and here.
Yeah.
Now you have to do a sequel to this episode where you go back and play the Wii version.
I might do the DS version, to be honest, as a mini. Maybe if I can convince some sucker to do it with me, but that's about as far as I'm going. So
I feel robbed. I want to do something to get more out of this because, like, I love the first one so much, and like I love it as a game, though, I'm like, oh, it's not a great game, but I love it, and I get why other people wouldn't. But like this one, I don't know who the fuck this is for. I don't think it's for anybody. This Wii version looks like it's for me, apparently. Oh, and then you get the blue crystal after scary stuff. Cute. But like, yeah, even exploring for those holocrons in the original was like interesting, and they had them in fun crevices. A lot of times they would like, there was ones that were very much on the path. It's like, oh, here's XP, or here's like a different color. But a lot of them that were like hidden. It's like, you got to jump up 6 feet. Whoa, watch out. Whoa, we're getting weird in here.
Yeah, you had to like play the game, where in this one it didn't really feel like, I mean, this game didn't, I mean, I know there's like an upgrade system, but it didn't even matter. Like in the first game, I felt like it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
This game is a bastard of itself. It's just a bastardization.
On the version, on your version, does he, at the end, does he talk about possibly meeting like the real Star Killer at the end of the game, like while you're going towards Vader? Because I thought that would have been a really interesting, that kind of would have saved this game for me if you like made it to the end and you found out that the bad ending of Force Unleashed was like really the canon ending and you were still alive and working for Vader and you have to fight yourself. Like I was like, that would have been fucking cool, but it doesn't happen. But he kind of alludes to it like while you're walking through Camino, like towards the end there. So I was,
oh my god, the
really
dark side ending is completely different. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, he does murder him. For a second, I thought it was the same guy, and I was like, what? I'm looking up what you're talking about because.
Yeah, are we talking about the endings then? Because that one neither of them made any sense really to me.
Oh, this thing is cool where you do the platforming with the clone. This is cool. I'm watching it right now.
That's what I'm saying. That mission looks so
there was a whole platform part where you with the mirror, like where you had the mirror clone and then like a Jedi robe appears on you at one point, and then you walk away with.
I shit you not. The equivalent of that is he walks in the cave, a cutscene plays, and his clothes have changed, and he just kind of looks down at his clothes. And he's like, "Oh, that's weird," and then he keeps walking. And then when he leaves the cave, the clothes are gone. But then you unlock them as an outfit you can wear. Oh, I'm so upset. The ending,
you just can't hide it.
Yeah, the endings, the two endings that exist. We can talk about. I think we should talk about the dark one first, because I'm guessing that would be the non-canonical, and it's much shorter. Which is at the end, you defeated Vader, and everyone's there and they're like, "No, Star Killer, don't kill that Vader." You have to walk up to him in the Wii version. Oh, you walk between them. Oh,
yeah, you walk up. Press A. Like, is it different?
Yeah, in the other version, you're literally standing in front of Vader and you're frozen, and it says light side, dark side, and that's literally all it says. Then you pick it. I'm so upset. Okay, and you're at Vader.
I beat it both ways. Like I did it the good way, and then I did it the bad way. And in the Wii one, when you restart it, they kind of start you a ways back, so you kind of have to go through the level for a while and fight Vader. I was like, oh, I thought they were just going to start me like right at Vader, and then I could do it again.
I bet it'd be the same.
The dark one was dumb. Like, yeah, you go up and you're like, I'm going to kill Vader, and then another Star Killer shows up and kills you, and I'm like, is that the real Star Killer? Who the fuck is this
That's what
guy?
I think was implied.
Who the fuck is this?
He specifically says to him, the cloning process isn't actually perfect, and it makes me feel like I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be in the non-canonical ending OG Star Killer. And you're like, whoops, well, because he also kills General Code in like 5 seconds, and that OG Star Killer was ridiculously powered, so that kind of tracks. Oh, and then the good ending, Juno's dead. You think like, oh shit, she's dead. You walk up to your robot buddy, who's a main character in the first game, has been like around for like, I don't know, 20 lines of dialogue, and he goes, yeah, sorry, I couldn't save her. She's dead. And then he's like, oh, my goof. I wanted to kiss my goof. I don't even know if she would love me. I'm a clone. And then she kisses you. And she's like, hey, we're both alive. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good ending. Yeah, where you walk over there and she gets up and it's dumb. And she's like, oh, you must be the other guy. I don't know. I mean, you look the same as the other guy. You got the same,
they start making out.
Got the same mind. So whatever, let's make out.
And then fucking Leia shows up, which was also a fun little nugget. And I'm like, let's shove another reference in here.
On your version as she did in the Wii version? Because her face weirdly shaped. I was like, wow, she looks weird.
I'm looking at that now. Yeah, no, it's much better in the original. It's still like, I don't know, sometimes like, especially, this is random, but Juno's face in the Xbox and PlayStation version, I swear from like scene to scene, sometimes it would look different. But yeah, no, she looks real weird here. I'm watching the cutscene. And then it turns out, it's just the robot projecting her image, which I don't think was a power he ever had. Well, no, I think he did it as Vader. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the close-up there on the Wii one. She looks so weird.
Yeah, she looks like she's made of Play-Doh.
So I just finished watching the Dagobah stuff. Man, this is so much better.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad you're here with me now.
Him, like, everything, like, the mind trick thing that Trey was talking about. I was like, what is Trey talking about? I'm like, yeah, like, wow. So
Yeah.
you play the Wii version, people.
Don't
That's
play
the
it.
better
Yeah,
version.
if you play this and you don't play the Wii version, you've done yourself a disservice. Take
what
it from me.
I'm saying that's what I've been saying. Both of them. I think the Wii version is better on both. Force Awakens or whatever it is. Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Better on Wii.
Well, because did you say did the Wii version come out later? Is that what you said?
No, I thought they came at the same time.
It came at the same time. I worked at Target when this stuff came out.
It makes me feel like they put a lot more of their spoons in the Wii version. Their fucking like resources and like because it was easier to do it, I think, in certain terms with certain things. If I had to guess, as a person who's never made a video game, and so, man, it makes me wonder what else is different because like I know that fight would not be the same. The fight with the big Balrog eating boy, like it's similar looking. What is this section when you're in the stairs? What is this place?
See, now you got to play this one.
Oh
You got to play the
god.
Wii version too.
I will probably play it on Twitch because I want to get a Wii to play the Wii version of Dead Rising, which is also about as different as this Wii
I mean,
version.
if you want to play them other
Oh,
ways,
yeah.
Milk, I can help you.
I mean,
but
that-
that's your
That's
call.
definitely not the better version. I played that game though, and it's kind of hilarious because
Oh,
there's only like 2 zombies on the screen at once.
that's why I
ridiculous.
want to play it. Because I'm not going to be like this is the ultimate version, but it does seem funny and better. Is that also a different fucking? Oh yeah, that was the thing that upset me, and I'm seeing it's different. This I totally forgot. In the version when you're getting XP points, I don't even know what they call them. It's literally just white text in the top left of your screen, and it doesn't even say anything. It's just a number that goes up. Here, it's like an XP bar, and above it says Padawan. It's like a whole HUD element where I'm like, oh, look, they spent time
That's a
incorporating it,
combo.
making a HUD.
You don't
not
have a
just-
combo meter on there.
No, you got a
Oh.
combo meter. Oh, I'm so upset.
Well, there's like a combo meter that builds up, and that's basically how you use your super force moves or whatever. So, like, when it gets faster, take the Wii mode, and then you do the crazy one where your lightsabers fly around you or whatever. That's what I was saying was the difference in the motion control versus the other one. Like now you shake the Wiimote to do those super combo moves that you can do from building up the meter.
Yeah, so I'm realizing this part I'm watching, it's fucking the planet where you save Kato. It's very different. There's like, it looks so nice. I don't know. It's just, it looks like a Wii/GameCube game, but one that I would want to play. This feels like I want to be like, man, I'm sad I didn't get to play this when I was a kid. Force Unleashed 2 it hurts every step of the way.
I'm
like,
loving this.
Oh,
We haven't talked much about, like, there's a whole level, one of the 3 levels in this game. You're on 3 parts. You're on a ship where you're trying to go get Juno, and you just spend your whole time running around on a ship just fighting tons of stormtroopers and there's like
spiders. There's spiders in there too, right?
those annoying spider bot things.
Yeah, I don't like those things.
I did
They
not
got
either.
annoying after a while. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess it was like, these are different than stormtroopers, so I guess we fight spiders for a while. I guess that's where we're at.
Yeah, Foresight isn't a thing at all in the PlayStation Xbox version, by the way.
It wasn't?
No.
It wasn't? Oh, because
No.
you could do those little mini games to open the doors where
Yeah,
you
I'm
point
watching that right now. And also him and Coda have a mind link moment. That's not a thing. You walk up to Coda in a cutscene and he goes, "Oh, it's about time." And I'm like, and I think he says, "You're alive." Oh, it's about time. It's like, great. I'm glad we've had this reunion, Coda. Good to see you too. Oh,
Man, I don't understand why this is so different. And
Yeah.
they came out,
They had
as far as I can see, the same day.
I thought they had different developers. Like I know the first one they did, and I thought this one they had.
Maybe it did. Maybe I'm wrong. And
Completely different.
so who the fuck knows? All I know is you cannot make a game in 9 months like this. Like that's all I know. I mean, you can obviously, but not good.
According to Wikipedia, the writer only got 3 weeks to crank out this wonderful script to this game. So
wow. It's
pretty
still
short.
kind of upsetting to me.
He
'cause
was.
that-
And he also was the director in the first game, which was successful. In this game, said no, you're just going to be the writer. And he'd worked for Lucasfilm for this company for 15 years. So he pretty much said, "Here's your script. Fuck you," and he quit.
Good for him.
As I tell everybody, seniority means nothing to a company. Like, don't be like, "Oh, I've been here 30 years." Yeah, they don't give a shit. Just
Yeah,
no longer useful.
There are different developers because I'm seeing at least
I'll say there's
three
got to
here. Lucasfilms, Games LLC, Aspire Studios, and Red Fly Studios. And I think Red Fly is the one who made the Wii version.
Red Fly is the Wii one. Yeah, that's
Okay,
the one.
that makes sense then.
I didn't recognize that company when I was playing it.
They haven't done a lot. They've done Thor, Mushroom Men, Truffle Trouble, some Turtles games, the Ghostbusters game on the DS and the Wii, and then
That one was cool too. I mean, I don't think it's better than the 360 PS3 one, but it was cool that at least they made the Ghostbusters, like they kind of made them more cartoony, like the way it was designed. I think some of the levels are different on that too. And you motion control mini games that you do to
Food Network Cooked or Be Cooked. It makes me want to go play Mushroom and Truffle Trouble because the title is cute, but the art is horrifying in a way that's interesting.
I remember seeing reviews of that game. I thought it was okay, or maybe for the Wii time, maybe people liked it. I don't know.
Anyway,
Wii games are a special type of depending on what you're playing, you got to be that right person for it.
Oh yeah, I just think the threshold when everyone's playing a Wii game, or at least a lot of people, it's very different. They're just different. That's it. I mean, not in a bad way.
I thought that was kind of. Obviously, part of what was unique about it, aside from shoving motion control down your throat, which got annoying pretty quickly, but just the fact that it wasn't HD, it wasn't next generation at the time. So if you wanted to make a Wii game, you had to make it different than all the other systems. So,
but sometimes
it could be better in some ways.
This way.
Yeah. Limitations can breed better things. I mean, it really can. You see it a lot in gaming where there's something limited. They have to work with what they have, and they make it something amazing. And then you have times like this.
Because you said that the force vision or whatever isn't in the other version.
No,
when you fight those characters that disappear, the whatever you had those, right? The ones that
yes.
That when you use the force vision, you can always see them.
I'm seeing that now. This looks really cool. It has a whole cinematic where you murder them all. This game looks so cool. Oh. Holy hell.
What I did is I would just force lightning the air and see if I got, I was fishing to see if I got lucky.
Yes.
That's how I found it.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. I just used the force vision.
The game at the end, and partially because I was trying to go quick, but it very much becomes, what is the cheesiest way I can kill these dudes? Because I don't know what I did, Mike, because I just put my force pole up to max and I would just chuck any grabbable at the wall. And then it was you can't force grab me. I'm like, okay, then I'm going to grapple you. And if you're not dead, I'm going to pick you up off the ground and chuck you off the wall. Or I got really good at lining dudes up to the edge and then doing the grapple that would just chuck them off the edge. And I'm like, cool.
That's funny. No, I did not do that. I just forced lightning things, and that was my way of catching them. There's also the acolytes that you fight that can't be touched by force power, so you have to stab them.
Yep, that's why I'd grab them, and then I could grab them. Grapple them, then grab them.
And that instantly killed them for me.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it probably goes without saying the Vader fight is pretty different, and again, looks very GameCube-y, but I'd still rather have played that than our fight.
I'll say, does he not throw you through the middle thing, and then you see did he just stun him and all that stuff? Oh, because I thought the Vader fight was kind of fun, aside from the beginning part where I couldn't get a hit in.
So
it's just an endless fight where you chase him on platforms. You just keep jumping up platforms. More clones appear, and you just keep continuously in this process.
I think that's in here.
There's a whole cutscene where you reflect on the horrors of the clones he's made of you, and it's terrifying, and he has to wrestle with that morally for a moment before he starts chasing Vader again. You literally just run through and chase Vader, and then occasionally fight clones. Our version, there's two parts to the final boss fight. The first part is you are literally jumping from platform to a different platform, and Vader, you do a little bit of damage, you mind meld with the other clones, do you mind trick him, and then Vader, after he takes enough damage, will jump to another one, and then he summons a bunch more clones. I had to do it 8 times, and then you get to the part 2 where you're outside. This one, they're actually you run into them and you have to fight them one-on-one, and that feels a lot cooler. I feel so rough. I know what I'm getting with Dead Rising 3. This feels like I played a game and then it was oh, you didn't play the superiorly better version that would have been enjoyable? Well, that's tough, kid. Anyway, let's talk about it.
I didn't realize that they were that different. I mean, I knew there were some differences, but I thought it was going to be kind of like Force Unleashed 1 differences where there's just the controls and some other. I did not expect it to have additional areas and stuff. I think
that Force Unleashed 1 though are completely different between the Wii and the 360 PS3 version.
They are, but it's mostly I thought it was mostly just extra stuff they added.
I don't know. There was I remember seeing footage of PS3 that I'd just never seen on the Wii one. I remember, isn't there a part where there's a frozen carbonite Jar Jar or whatever? That's not in the Wii version.
No.
No, there's frozen. There's enemies that freeze. That was also something I remembered. I was experiencing. I kept going, isn't that cool part in this game? No, it's all in the first game. There was nothing from this game that I fondly remembered. In the Xbox and PlayStation version of right before you get to the second phase of Vader, you find Juno and him, and he force chokes the shit out of Juno in the PlayStation version, and then she falls to the ground, and Starkiller's like, oh, I submit to you, I'll do whatever you want, just don't kill Juno. And then Juno gets a lightsaber out and holds it to Vader, and then that's when Vader kills her. And I was like, This is a really weird thing to do, Vader. I'm like, that feels weird. No, in the fucking Wii version, he goes, oh, you submit to me? Cool, I'm going to intentionally murder her. Now what are you going to do? Like, there's so much better writing that it's like, this makes a lot more sense than, I'm not going to kill her. She threatened me with a knife, a foam knife. I'd kill her. Now, oh no. God, it's so sad.
He force choke slams her, and then Starkiller gets mad and attacks him.
Which also makes it seems a lot more ambiguous if she's dead, as opposed to the PlayStation version where he force pushes her out of a fucking 4-story window onto a platform. A regular old human. That's why I was like, oh. And then she literally has her eyes open, and she goes like, oh, and then she stops moving, and her eyes are open. I'm like, oh, she's dead, right? That's how this goes. She has to be dead. No, psych. She's cool. She's fine. She's hanging out. Oh.
This is great, by the way. This is great.
How did you can you block? How do you block laser fire and stuff in the other
hold
version?
a button?
Okay, I mean it's similar. This was something from the first one that carried on, which I thought was cool. It's on the Wii version. If you just hold your Wiimote to the side, you're always blocking. So that was fun.
Yeah, so, you had to stop to block.
But in
you
the
can walk. Yeah.
In the first one, you hold it to the side, and the character actually kind of does it 1-to-1. Now it's just always blocking when you hold the Wiimote to the side. But I was just blocking everything in that game. I just walked through, and some of the stormtroopers and the flying ones, you would just automatically just knock them out of the air, and they'd fall down and die. And
this is something I haven't seen, and this might seem weirdly nitpicky. Did your version have snipers?
I don't think so.
Wow,
ours did, for sure.
They are the worst enemy, and I'm so upset.
So what do you do? Push the bullets back at them, or what?
No, they have it's the classic red laser sniper thing, and if you're standing still and they stop to take the shot, it does a third of your health bar. Yeah. So they became high priority targets in a fight. You had to take them down quick, because otherwise you're just fighting dudes. You'll just lose all your health suddenly because snipers are just getting at you. And oh.
The other thing is, what was it? Those robots with the shield. You just kind of you just force grab their shields, and then you just wave the Wii remote, and it just goes away, and that's kind of fun.
You'd grab it and you chuck it back at them just with buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna play this version, Mike, on my Switch because I'm playing to borrow a friend's Wii, and I'm going to now play this too because I'm so upset and I feel so robbed.
It's a shame that I was going to say you probably didn't have anybody on your Force Unleashed 1 episode that played the Wii version. Now
it was
the power of the Wii. No, I mean I'm just saying it's a shame because I think it's better on both. I think both of them are better.
I had played the Wii version, I feel like, when it came out, but I rented it, at that place called Blockbuster a long time ago. But I don't remember much about it. I do remember you could play Luke Skywalker and it had a fighter to it and stuff. But it's been a long ass time.
It had dual mode. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
2D fighting game in there, which was awesome. I had a lot of fun with it. And it had a shit ton of costumes too. Are you talking about
yeah.
I don't think Admiral Akbar was in there, but you could play as Han Solo and Lando and Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker and all these other
Clone Wars version of Starkiller. When I booted up on the PC with the Ultimate, it had all that. There's also a character in that fighting game, going back to one, I wasn't going to bring it up, but it's so weird, named Mara Jade. And I was like, who the fuck is Mara Jade? And I look up Mara Jade, and it's oh yeah, it's Mara Jade Skywalker.
From the novels, she was huge.
Yeah, she's a big character, but to have, I am hoping they bring her back in the canon. I doubt it too. What I really want, which I don't think I'm going to get, is I want story of what Luke Skywalker is doing besides sitting on one planet building a temple for the next 30 years. I want more stuff with him. I wish they would just recast Mark Hamill. They won't, but I wish they would.
Yeah, I mean they kind of when the CGI Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but that's still Mark Hamill, just CGI Mark Hamill. I mean, after Solo, they said they will never recast again because that was the reason why Solo didn't work. And it's no, the reason Solo didn't work because he released it after Last Jedi, which bombed. And you thought, hey, people, you got mad at Star Wars? Well, here, have some more Star Wars. You didn't go.
I mean, there were a lot of things wrong with Solo.
I love Solo, by the way.
I mean, but number one, the directors and writers got fired, and it got finished by Ron Howard, and also it got released way earlier. They didn't wait a whole year. They released it in May. There was many reasons, and also it sucked. So I mean, there were tons of reasons why people didn't go see it. I thought it was trash, and I saw it in theaters.
I've seen it,
and I loved The Last Jedi. So whatever.
Oh. Well, that was the issue. Was just after that movie bomb, I saw somewhere where Disney said the reason why it didn't work because we recasted a character, and you can't recast
and you
these
find
classic
the
characters.
original writers also who went on to make what? Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah, that movie was bad, right?
Yeah, terrible movie.
No, yeah,
I mean, it's just
Oscar winning Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, obviously you had no fucking clue what you were doing here. It's like, let's call Opie and do it.
He's
not
an
doing
idiot. I mean, that's just what it comes down to sometimes. They're just fucking idiots when it came to the Star Wars franchise.
He's not doing shit.
I've solved the riddle. What we got with these two games was a foresight of the future of what Star Wars was going to be versus what it was. Looking at these multiplayer fucking games was wild. Maris Brood is a character I've seen, and she's just a character in one of these versus modes. And I'm like, that's neat. You know, it's funny that back then people might have known her or been like, oh, who's that? Let me look her up. And there's all this bonus stuff that's like, yeah, it's happening on the side. It's kind of canonical. Who really cares? Blah, blah. And everyone's having a good old fun time. Fun, wacky. Hey, look at your goth Marek woman, Zabrak. It's fine. And then you have, I'd say it's like the Wii version. And then you got the fucking Disney era of Star Wars where it's like, oh, it's got to beat this. It's got to follow the structure. We got to have the nice graphics. It's going to be this. Forget all that other shit. We're going to toss it out the window. And then it's like, wow, this has been an experience that is on par for how I thought it was going to go and is still disappointing. And that's the Xbox and PlayStation versions of this game. I've unlocked the Millennium Puzzle. I've solved the riddle. I want to go home now. I don't want to be here anymore.
Did you look at the multiplayer from Force Unleashed 2, by the way, since you're looking at all the gameplay? Check out the Smash Brothers-esque game that's on there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool. I did. It looked fun. I'm sad, it was only like, again, who the fuck am I gonna convince? Hey, do you want to come over and play games? Yeah, I guess. What are we gonna play? Star Wars Force Unleashed 2 Wii multiplayer? I don't want to know you anymore. I'm gonna hang up now. It's all so cool, and I'm so sad.
That is a cool Smash Bros. Clone. I looked it up just now and I'm watching it. Like, that is cool.
You got Boba Fett. You can play Boba Fett.
There was one time I went to go to a bar with a friend of mine from college that I hadn't talked to in a while, and that was kind of a similar thing where we were like hanging out, and I was like, "Hey, did you play Force Unleashed 1 yet?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I played." Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I played it. It was whatever. I went through it. I thought I was dumb." I was like, "But have you played the dual mode on Wii?" And he's like, "No." And then we got more beers and went over to my house and played that, and it was fun as hell. So I did, but this was like around when it came out, and I was like, "Hey, you wanna come hang out and let's play the dual mode?" And yeah, we did.
Yeah, that character everybody loves, Asajj Ventress. She's actually like unironically from the little bit I've seen her. I think she's a cool character. I'd love to see more about her in Clone Wars. They just had her as a multiplayer.
Clone Wars.
They just had her as a multiplayer.
Always say that.
Yeah, she's a multiplayer character in 2 multiplayer.
She's like cool. from Darth Maul's planet or whatever, right? Like from Dathomir.
She's from Dathomir, yeah. I can give you a lot of story if you really want it, but yes, she's from Dathomir. She's dead now in the canon, but yes.
I've seen all the episodes, so I know.
Okay.
But I know I love the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Those little sneaky guys. They're called Terror Troopers. We just didn't get names. It was just there's the classic AT-AT, the robot that looks like a chicken. I've never seen anything else, but I'm guessing is a thing that fires missiles. And then it was like, oh, now
never been in anything else.
Oh, I like those little chicken guys. But then it's like, here's these guys. They're spooky, and I'm like, what? Don't worry about names. Just kill them. We gotta get to Juno. And it's like, oh, they're actually Terror Troopers. That's actually kind of neat of a name. I wish someone had said something. I don't know.
You can play as the player also. Terror Troopers.
Yeah, that's why I learned, because I saw that name and I went, what the fuck is a Terror Trooper? And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh, it was the enemy I was fighting in my own game. Of course.
This is cool. The Wii version actually, it's not often that I say a Wii version of stuff. Because I really don't like the Wii a lot. I'm a big
I was saying the Wii is, it's. I feel like it's become, everybody kind of hates it now. But there were some really good games on it, and Force Unleashed 1 I knew was good, and this one I wasn't that mad about it.
I think it's interesting to hear you say that, because at least people around my age group, and I think it's probably a pretty significant factor, I'm really seeing a lot of love come back for the Wii. And I want a Wii, or at least I would like the experience of being able to play a Wii as it was sort of intended, because there's a lot of stuff on the Wii that I'm like, was an experience I can't get anywhere else in a different console officially. I can get it on PC, sure, that's a thing, and I probably will at some point, but I don't know, I can't play Dead Rising Chop till you drop it any other way except holding a Wiimote. I'm not going to play that on my emulator and go, let me just map these to my Xbox controller.
There is one Wii game that I think about way more than I should that I really want to play, but I got to find a volunteer. You also can't play this legally anymore.
Probably played it. Which one is it?
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: My Life as a King.
Oh yeah, that one. I didn't play that one, but I remember it. It was a DLC, right? So you can't get it because it's WiiWare.
I mean, I have a copy of it. Yes,
Yeah, you get it.
I can give you a copy of it. Yes,
That's one of the best things with that is that people are like, and that's happening with the Xbox 360 now. And it makes me feel not anxious. Like, oh yeah, we're taking out all the arcades.
Oh yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
I mean,
it'll be around somewhere if I want to play it.
When I heard that was happening, I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried. The internet will preserve this, just not in a way that the public will be aware of. But yeah, like when I found, like, I was upset when the WiiWare went down because I really liked that game. I bought it on my first Wii, which was then my ex took when she left me, and I never finished it. And I've been wanting to replay it, but I also need to configure my PC to run a Wii, like make a controller work instead of the remote, because I really want to play that game. And I've been wanting to play that game for years. I don't feel
say Milk, you should just buy a Wii U. Then you have a Wii too. I mean, I'm sure they're expensive now, but if you don't have a Wii U, they're backwards compatible. You can play the Wii, and you can get 2 screens and a Wii.
Around my area where I've been seeing Wiis, they're priced like non-refurb stuff that's like good quality for like full set. My friend got one that had Wii Sports, 2 Wiimotes, the Wii, and some of it was still in box, like unwrapped, and he got it for like $70. He like bartered. It was like at 100, but he bought them at 70, and I was like, damn, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. I was wondering what they go for, because I have 3 Wiis, and I think I got the last one I got was like $12 or something like that, but that was a few years ago.
A Wii console on eBay, let's see, anywhere from 100 to 230, depending on what package you get. From one thing I'm seeing,
they were like handing them out.
Yeah, not
giving them away.
Yeah, well, that's supply going down. Years go by, everyone's like, oh shit, I don't got a Wii anymore.
Yeah,
actually, I got
like
one
2 or 3,
like $12 with all the cables and like a Wiimote and all that.
I have 2 Wiis, actually. Now that I think about it, they're not that far off from me, but I don't know if they work anymore. I just have them. I have a Wii U also, so that's good enough.
I have 3 of them, 4 if you count the Wii U, but all of them are hooked still. So
it's not still. You just moved. They got re-hooked up.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they were hooked up, and now they're hooked up again. No,
that's the impressive part.
Yeah, and they're all hooked up to stream in case I ever want to stream some Wii stuff. And also in our basement down here, I have another Wii hooked up at the other TV in like the living room basement area, and that's where I played the Force Unleashed 2.
See, I moved 3 years ago, and I'm still today. After we get done with this recording, I'm going to go clean up my garage of shit I put there 3 years ago and never moved.
Yeah, you told me that your garage is not a garage.
It's a storage unit, and because I put the stuff in there, like, oh, my wife will go through this at some point once we get moved, and waited 3 years, and we never did anything with it.
Yeah, moving sucks. Right, so I understand that. I mean, I put together a shelf in the garage that has boxes in it that I hope to go through some.
Well, yeah, I mean, see, I didn't organize it. I just put it in a big pile of shit. I'm like, oh, we're gonna move this and go, and then we never did. And now we rented a dumpster. Unfortunately, a smaller one than I wanted because I apparently don't know how to read, and I was sucker to pictures. And I am now loading up a bunch of that shit because my whole theory is like, we haven't looked at this in 3 to 4 years. Like, we probably don't need it. Just make it go away.
One thing that was kind of cool about playing this on Wii again, and this is just to plug another game that came out. WarioWare Move It just came out a couple days ago, and that is totally a Wii game on Switch.
Yes, it is. I actually played it just like Friday, and we only played it for like 20-30 minutes, but I'm like, I would definitely do more of this. It's fun.
No, I kind of loved it, but it also feels like it's weird. It's like from another time. Like it's like this game should have been like a Switch launch or something, like back when people cared about motion control, because motion control is great in it, but it's like also like it's just weird that this is like an end of Switch game. But I don't know. It kind of helped ease me into the Force Unleashed because that has somewhat, waggle controls as well. And I'm like, well, I'm already playing WarioWare. But no, I totally recommend it. I thought it was awesome. Like I beat it and I'm going through and getting all the extra stuff and all that. But also it's like, it's just weird. It's a weird timing to release it now. They should have released this before that crappy Get It Together game that they did, the other WarioWare one. That's side thing, but yeah. If you ever need anybody for old WarioWare games, I got you, Mike.
All right, I actually do want to play not the WarioWare game. I do want to play some of those Wario games, and I just have not got around to it. Hey, wait, in the Wii version, you get to dodge Boba Fett when he's shooting missiles at you?
Stop! What the fuck did you just say? I was just watching
a random comparison video that's playing in the background. All of a sudden, I see Boba Fett shoot a missile, and you have to wag the Wiimote down to dodge it. I'm like, we didn't get that shit.
Oh yeah. That was the waggle QT.
We didn't even see. We saw Boba Fett in the
you see
room.
Boba Fett 3 times. Darth Vader goes, "Hey, go find him." And then you see Boba Fett taking Juno off, and you go, "No, Juno." And then you see him at the end of the good ending, where it's like, "Hey, I'm actually behind you," and that's it. That's holy fuck. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take a minute. I need to breathe.
You need to take a break and then in a few hours come back after you play the Wii version.
I mean, I can get you a version of the Wii version to play. You just won't be able to waggle. You'll have to figure out your own problems.
That's the thing. I could.
Man, it's just hilarious to me that the Wii version of this game is like by far the best version of this. Like, I find that hilarious.
Hey, I mean, I could have told you before we did this that it was probably the.
I was also looking at the Wii
I played the first one, and I know. I mean, from what, like I said, from talking to my friends who played the 360 PS3 one, the Wii version was better. Like, definitely the first one was.
I think like those experiences are different enough, and they're different enough in this way. But at least that it's like, okay, you're getting almost 2 different games in a way that it's like it depends on what you're wanting for. Like at the Xbox 360, it had achievements, it had a lot more focus on like the unlockables for that sort of element, and I think it pushes a lot of that in the gameplay and like looking for holocrons. I looked at a Wii boss fight from Force Unleashed 1, and I went, this shit looks fun and interesting and rad. I don't remember, like, the boss fights were fun and interesting and rad because it was very cinematic. Like, there's one part where I think you're fighting Darth Maul, and you don't know why Darth Maul is suddenly here, and it makes no sense. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's actually your robot. Haha, just kidding. And it was neat.
Yeah, a bunch of parts like that.
But the fight was, again, a character I've never heard the name of, Darth Phobos. And I was watching her cutscene in the Wii one, the Force Unleashed first Wii, and I was like, wow, this cutscene and the dialogue and the fight, the interaction in the middle of the fight seems really interesting, and I don't even remember this character in the other one. So
I don't remember this character. I don't know the character at all, and I'm I'm a Star Wars guy.
I think she's only in these games is what I've been trying to figure out, because I was like, is she anywhere else? Because she's also a multiplayer character in Force Unleashed 2 on Wii. And I was like, who the fuck is this? But I guess she's in Force Unleashed 1? Maybe
she's
just
the
Wii
one for sure. I see a cutscene.
Okay. Because I know she's in the Wii version, but I don't even remember her in...
She's not in the regular game. I can say that for sure.
Oh my god.
I wonder if she's somebody from Legends canon, what used to be canon, like a comic book or a book or something. I mean, there's so many characters that were just there.
Yeah.
I was actually, I was completely wrong on the dual mode. It's not 2D. You totally run around. I think I was confusing it with the dual mode in episode 3, the PS2 game.
Yep.
But no, the dual mode is still pretty awesome though.
It's still very cool. It's like 3D fighter.
There's like there's mini games that you do when you actually clash lightsabers and stuff like that. Like it was really cool.
I remember liking it when I rented it, but I also remembered when I worked at Target at this time, I was a fucking idiot. I remember somebody wanted to buy this. Well, you don't want to buy this for Wii. You want to buy this instead.
Yeah.
Person pushing the hate on the Wii games.
If somebody today went, I'm going to play Force Unleashed 2, I'm going to. There's no question. Should I play the Wii version? I'd go, I don't see why. I don't think there's any difference. And now I'm a different person. I
just want to play the DS version now. That's all I want to play. I'm really curious about playing this DS version. And I know a guy who might do it with me. So
I mean, it's shorter than Force Unleashed 2. So
I looked it up. Like, it's about the same price as the Wii one. Like, you can get it. You can get it used for like $10. Either of them.
That's how it was going to go, Trey. Sure. Hey, it would be played on a DS, Trey. I can tell you that much. I would play it on a DS.
Oh, sure, yeah. One of those. I remember those things. Regardless, if you want to buy it legitimately and have a nice box to look at, you can get it for $10.
I'm actually playing a legit DS. Well, I'll be talking about that eventually. But I'm actually playing a legit 3DS game that I had in box for the last like 3 to 4 years.
Is it in Fire Emblem?
Yes.
The 3DS version is also clearly superior, because look at that cursed ass JPEG of Coda. It terrified me. He popped up and I was like, and I was like, oh wait, that's just Coda. Why, bud? You don't gotta look like that.
They do like the still image cutscenes. What was it? Another one. Ultimate Spider-Man on DS was pretty amazing, and I think it was better than the GameCube version, even though it doesn't have an open world and all that. But the cutscenes were really cool the way they were done. They were like,
I need to play it.
Still frames, but it still had voiceover, but they were kind of animated. Like that was the first one I played because that was the only one I could afford, and then I played the GameCube one later, and I was like, I kind of like the DS one better. I thought it was like more cinematic, even though it was like, I guess since it was, it was kind of done like more like with comic frames and all that, and It did some really cool shit for the time.
I want to play it. I talked about this in the show. You can go listen to our mini, but Spider-Man Shattered Memories had a DS version that's a Metroidvania that's actually really good.
Oh yeah, I remember you played that. I didn't play that one, but I'd be interested. Like
I beat that game in one day,
like
Christmas
similar
Eve.
with like the Wii versions of stuff, with the DS. It's like you had to make the games different to put it on there.
Yeah,
and sometimes
that game
you get
will
stuff because of that. I used to work on this. I used to work on this reality show about tattoo artists, and we would we would have to wait. Like we would film the before part, and then we'd wait like 8 hours for them to do the tattoo.
Oh,
so I would sit in the production office and play Switch.
Then
like 3 other people bought Switches too because we were waiting so long for these tattoos, and it's like, yeah, I got everybody to buy Switches. We never really played multiplayer, but I guess we did a couple times. Like during interviews, we played like.
Sometimes that's just what you have to do with some jobs. You just have to
monkey ball bowling. Yeah. But it was nice because we had these guarantee extra hours because we had to wait for the tattoos to get done. And I play like Quake and No More Heroes 3 and a bunch of other shit that came out around that time. It was fun, and I got paid too.
That's always a nice part. All right, anything else to say about Force Unleashed 2? If we're going to questions, I don't have much, but I have a couple.
Let me look at. Let's see. Let me consult my notes here. I did take notes.
While you do that, Leia on the light side ending of the 3DS version of this game looks better than any other version I've seen of her in any of these other ones. So that's a fun little bonus fact.
Oh, sure. I believe it. So okay. So we did. This is a weird thing about the good ending. So like I guess this is supposed to be a cliffhanger.
We didn't say this.
We fell off the ending stuff.
They like defeat Vader and they like put him in a fucking vice or whatever, and then they just have him like locked up at the end. I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? Like Vader could have broke out of this in like 2 seconds. I don't know. Like it was a weird way to end. And then I guess 3. We're going to come back to the ship and Vader's still stuck there, and then Starkiller's going to break him out or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming Vader is all a trap.
Really weird ending.
Yeah, exactly. And that was I think another thing I remember. I was like, oh yeah, Vader like has a lot more like mind games going on here. That's what this whole 2 is, right? Like he lets him go, but then he doesn't, and then it's clearly revealed like, oh yeah, I planned all this. No, that's all in 1. I mean, I think it's happening in this too, but it's a lot less evident of like Vader's like, yeah, I'll let you go. The ending is very interesting, I would say, more than anything, because he's like, hey, I'm gonna find out if I'm a clone one way or another. Fuck you, I don't need your shit. And Vader's like, oh, I always control you, nerd. Haha, get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, as long as your girlfriend is alive, I will always control you or whatever. But it's like it's also like this, it's doing all this shit that like, it's like, oh, they captured Vader and they're gonna take him to trial or whatever. Like, what is this? Like, none of this happened. Like,
you're also not you can't take someone that you're not a legitimate government.
So. Yeah.
It's once they legitimize. Like, yeah, we still got Vader. This is actually the true ending of that.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess that's supposed to like maybe lead into 3, but I was still kind of like, this is a weird ending where it's just like, oh, we got Vader, we captured him. Whatever happened in those first 3 Star Wars movies didn't happen because we have him here or whatever. It's like, okay, weird.
Yeah, I had issues with it. I will say that I had a lot of issues.
Yeah, that was a weird. The ending was just like, what? I figured he'd like break out or something at the end. Like he's just kind of sitting there, like, I'm stuck in here. It's like, okay, I thought you were more powerful, Vader. Could have got out of there.
It's all a big mind game.
Yeah. I'll read a few comments. I think I got more than I thought I did. I watched the entire Orbital Super replay. Let's see, from Tom Drake. Say what you will about the game, it is tragically rushed and a mess in general, but Sam Witwer's performance as Starkiller shines through. Yeah, guy does a great job. From Zach Harris, it was asked due to the dev team needing to both rush it out and crunch while doing so. It definitely shows such a massive disappointment. From Adam Walker, this game sucks so hard, all the line reads sound like they were done on first take. It's short, worse than the first game. The story is terrible, somehow even more repetitive than the first. I beat it in one sitting. I think it's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd agree.
From Jerry Floyd, I remember the hype for this game was pretty high. Bummed it was so short. All right. And then from the official Laser Time community, from Andrew Gold. Oh, wait, no, that's from the first game. But he does say, also, if you're into Hasbro Black Series, they have 2 Starkiller figures on pre-order right now. Thankfully, I would say I don't buy figures, but as I'm looking at Funko Pops surrounding me, I buy only those, unfortunately. So, from Jesse Moore, I really enjoy these games and kind of have a soft spot for Starkiller and just how wacky the story got. Yeah. From Mike Amari, I love the fluid nature of the combat and was really impressed by the animation and physics engine at the time. It played so much better than any other lightsaber-focused game before it and had the satisfying force throw mechanics. I wouldn't have that much fun with a force push until Control came out in 2019. I love the alternate history DLC where Starkiller goes to famous moments of Star Wars history and brutally murders the heroes.
That's the first one. I had this.
There is the indoor one in this, though.
There's one. And it's
Yeah.
I just
You kill Leia and Han, I think, right? And Chewie or something.
Now I need to look it up because I started it and I thought it was a different DLC from the first one. I was like, oh, this is the prequel, so I'm gonna play it first. I was like, wait, this is different. So
there's Endor. It's the only one that they added in here. And from Owen Washington Hobbs, I got it for free on Games with Gold years ago. Nevertheless, I want a refund. Functional, but one of the most shallow gaming experiences I ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
From Andrew Bishop, Starkiller is one of my very favorite Star Wars characters, and I love his inspiring the rebels. We need him back. Yeah, that's not happening.
I'm on the fence more and more as I keep why I'm surprised there's new figures for him.
He can show up in Star Wars Acolyte or whatever other fucking Disney Plus show they're making.
Yeah,
is Acolyte still happening?
He can show up played by, I don't know, some other actor that's not the voice, that's not going to carry the character, but they'll be in there, and you can point at them and be like, "Hey, I know them. I know that."
Wow, damn! You do fight Layla, and she has a lightsaber. That's pretty badass.
I mean, that's what would have happened. I mean,
yeah.
I think if she wouldn't have passed away during the filming of The Last Jedi or before Last Jedi came out, I think we would have gotten more with her in time. Like, I think she would have been in Rise of Skywalker and
not just leftover footage from Force Awakens, or they put her in there. And
yeah, I mean, I think and that's always a sadness thing. But
this is a side note. But have you read the original script for Star Wars Episode 9, like the one that they canned to put shithead Abrams on there?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's so good. It's called like Duel of the Fates or something like that. Look it up. Like somebody actually made a comic book version of it, like a fan did. It's fucking incredible. Like it does so much better. Like they actually keep Rose in there. She doesn't get like put to the side, and Finn actually goes and like liberates the stormtroopers, and like there's all this fucking cool ass shit that happens in it. It's a much better story than whatever that steaming pile was of Rise of Skywalker. I don't look up that original script. Like I
found a 3-hour comic adaptation on YouTube.
I don't know. I read the comic. Like I read it. Like somebody, yes, a fan made it. But
wow, this DLC ends really cool. This is totally random, but I was just watching because I was like, wait, how does this end? He kills Leia, and then it goes to Palpatine and Darth Vader, and Palpatine's like, hey, your dude is like better than you've ever been, and he's kind of achieved everything I need. Leia's dead, because during the Leia fight, she also says, you killed my brother, so he killed Luke from the other DLC, I'm guessing, and the first one is what's implied. And then after he destroys Vader by force lightning him, he goes, all right, send in the troops to go kill that clone. And then it's a dramatic shot of an Imperial Star Cruiser coming into like view, and it cuts to his face. He's like, oh, I'm going to go murder them too. And I'm like, I like this idea where he's like, oh, I've been betrayed. Time to just keep murdering. Time to go murder hobo on everyone around me because I have nothing else to do, I guess. I've killed everyone. Damn.
I think I have the link saved. I'll send you a link.
I found it.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow's original script, Duel of the Fates, is so much better. It's like, why didn't we do this? But yeah, read it.
They were just so upset.
And you cry about like how that you wish it was a good movie.
Well, Last Jedi just upset so many people that they just retconned everything.
They're like, we need to give to the racists. Like they win. Like they hate having women and non-whites in their show. So let's just put Rose to the side. It's like, okay, fuck you. And give it back.
I'm gonna have to read this. I think I usually don't read fan stuff.
It's not fan stuff. It's the original script. I mean, I guess the art is fan done, like of the comic, but
is Ray blind or something in this? Okay, I'm gonna have to read this.
It's been a minute. One more thing. This is not the Force Unleashed 2, but I was watching the Force Unleashed 1 dual mode on Wii, and you can point your lightsaber at the screen and pick your character with your lightsaber. And that's pretty cool. That's a thing I forgot that you can do. It's like get crazy with that. That is one of my favorite things from the Wii is the pointer control. That was pretty awesome.
Something that was also really jank, and I'm remembering now because also all of the fucking footage for this game, trailers and stuff, almost none of it matches. Like the enemies are there the same, and that's it. Outside of that, in game there were so many times in the same level where you did a loading zone or a transition to a cutscene, and the biggest one I can think of is when you finally get to Coda, and it didn't match at all. Like it ends with you on an elevator that's rising up, and it looks like maybe you're gonna rise into the arena he's fighting in, and then it cuts to the cutscene, and it's him walking through like a doorway. Like it just looks so jank and wrong. And I'm sure it goes back to the rush, but like there's just all these little details that it just make it's such a sad game. At first I was angry. I think I'm going through the 5 stages of grief, and now I'm getting sadness of like, Now I'm just sad for everyone who was involved, all the fans who were hyped like me, the pain. Can't wait to play that Wii version.
All right, I have 2 comments left to read from the Star Wars discussion room. From Andre Arias. I just downloaded the first one on Switch. Haven't played it since it came out. I never got around to playing the second one, though. Plan to do so after I replay the first one.
Yeah,
It's
it's the Wii Switch, so you're in for a good time, person. But I don't think I'm betting on that.
From Jordan Harris, the last game platform I bought was an original Xbox, and it just died on me. I'm afraid I'd never leave the house if I bought the latest generation gaming system. Okay. So apparently he never played Force Unleashed 2.
Like any of them?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny, so I had to read it.
Sure.
All right. I think that's everything for there. So let's go on to Shelf Stacker Box. And let's start with a positive. Milk, what about you?
I don't need to do this. I don't even need to. I'm answering everything.
I know, but
can I have a fun bonus 4th option where it's actually in my fireplace and I went out and bought it?
Sure, that has been said close to it on the show. So
yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll go buy and find a Wii and a Wii copy, and I'll play that, and then that would probably go on my shelf.
I highly doubt it.
3DS might go on the shelf too. I just might put them side by side and be like, these are the only versions of this game that exist. There's nothing else anymore.
Hey, I mean that's my life because I never played these other ones, so I don't even know. Now I know the hate.
Now you know not to play the 360 PS3 one, huh?
Yeah.
Stick with the Wii. I can't believe the Wii version the best.
Hey, like I said, if you ever want to talk about other great Wii games, I know about a lot of them. You ever played House of the Dead Overkill? That's a fucking badass game on Wii.
No, but I bought it.
I will fight for that game forever. Or Mad World, that was an awesome, amazing Wii game.
Mad World. Yeah, Mad World. I heard a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Never played it. Really.
Saying lots of awesome Wii stuff on there. People forgot about it, but they had some really cool like adult games on Wii, especially Overkill. Like I played the shit out of that game. I love that game so much.
And Trey, what about you? Shelf Stacker Box.
Well, I mean, I have a shelf in the basement here that's filled with Wii games, and that's where it is with the other, with the Force Unleashed one right next to it. No, you know what? Yeah, I guess it was much worse on your end, but if I would have bought it for $50 like on Wii whenever it came out, like I would have been a little disappointed by how short it was, I guess. But probably the thing I did with one and just play through it over and over again with all the extra costumes and like fully upgrade all my abilities and all that shit. So that's what I would do, and I probably wouldn't have hated it that much more. I don't know. I never really saw a reason for it, and that's why I didn't go to it. But I'm not mad that I played it. You know, I like Wii games, so it's I like stuff from that era, and it's not too pushy on the motion. So
I also
I had an all right time playing through it, and obviously I got the better game from what I hear from both of you.
You did.
I don't know if there's another game that has an Akbar skin to this level. So if you really want some good Akbar Jedi alternate universe stuff, this would be worth it for that. It's really fun to just see Akbar around doing all this stuff. His lips don't move though. All the other models, because you can be like Obi-Wan and you can be Luke Skywalker with Yoda on his back. And that's like the cutscene in the opening where Vader's talking to him. It plays that, and Yoda just has this deadpan stare, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, and I love it. I like this for this and nothing else.
All right, and I'll go last. I'm gonna put this in the stack. I had some fun with it. I think it was kind of what I needed. I just needed a short game to run through and just kill things without giving any real thought, and that's what I got. I got a fun, just beat 'em up romp for 4 hours that I beat and put down and will never play again. So hey, I'm okay with that. So yeah, I made content. That's what matters.
No, it's not.
You got an episode out of it. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's like I was curious if anybody. And you played this before, Mike, right? Or had you not? Like
I had beaten it years ago on the 360, but I have no memory of it really. Like I remember it being short. I remember it not being a great game, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, that was about where I was at too. It is funny if you look this game up in like any modern, like within the last 2 or 3 years, like YouTube videos or like articles talking about this game that are like, is this game really as bad as everyone says? And even in a lot of titles, it's like, yes, it is. Don't play this. You don't need to. For content, yes. Anything else?
Hey, I'm just glad that you can still buy this on Steam. Not because it's a good game, but because I'm always happy when stuff is still available on Steam.
I'm glad yours ran so well. I'm shocked. Like, I saw so many reviews being like, it keeps crashing. I can't play this game. And I'm like...
Oh, and when I beat the first game, it says I only put 5.7 hours into it, but I can't remember if I beat it on the PC or if I had to switch to a different system. I can't remember. But yeah, That's my thing, it says here. But I also own almost all the Star Wars games on Steam just because. So.
Aspire needs to get their act together and put Force Unleashed 2, the Wii version, on Switch. Get to it.
Yeah, I would be high.
They have the version on Wii version of 1 on Switch. Put 2 on there.
I would love.
If they would have put it on there, I would have totally bought it.
I would have loved seeing that era of people who were like, "Oh, I didn't like this game." And they played it on Switch, and they're like, "Actually, this isn't as bad as I remember." And it's like, yes, because you played something very different. Fun fact.
I actually saw pretty good review. I mean, I saw great reviews for the Force Unleashed Wii version on Switch when it came out. So people are finally learning that the Wii did have good stuff.
I heard similar things, and it makes me kind of want to buy that because I every now and then I get a hankering to play the first one. But anytime I boot up in PC, it can be a little jank, and it just doesn't hit the same. I feel like that might actually work better.
Yeah, the PC, I don't remember what happened with me in the first one, but I feel like I had to stop playing it and play the 360 version or something, but it's been so long I can't remember any of what happened. I just remember there being issues. All right, and before we announce what's next week, I should give away a Steam code. So if you're still here, have a free Steam code to Hack and Slash. I don't know what that is, but here's your free Steam code. It is 0TD9 YIKTDFFB7XR. That is your free Steam code for Hack and Slash. So there you go. Because I have too many codes, I need to get rid of them. So.
It's a puzzle action game made by Double Fine back in 2014.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I got it for free at some random point in some random bundle, and I've been sitting on that code for longer than I should have been. So there you go.
Oh, they don't expire? They don't have a sell-by date or anything like that?
No, they actually don't. I found out because I've given away codes on the show for a while. This works. And people have told me that it works. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, no, codes last, thankfully. Once however they're produced, they just don't go away.
As long as the game itself hasn't gone away, then it might not let you download it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a different issue, but yeah, it works surprisingly. So yeah, there's your code. All right, and I should introduce what we're talking about next week. Next week, you get to hear about a good game for a change after us doing this for 3 weeks. We are talking about Chain Echoes. So listen to that next week. That should be a long one, I assume. Actually, this was longer than I thought it would be. We made an hour and a half talking about Force Unleashed.
We had some amazing revelations early on of oh yeah, we didn't play the same game. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I thought we'd be done in an hour maybe.
Yeah, I did too.
Me too. But because you put knowledge on us that we didn't expect.
You rocked our world. We had a
I brought the greatness of the Wii to this podcast. Like I said, any other Wii stuff, I own most of the good games, except for that Final Fantasy game that you mentioned earlier. But I do have a shit ton of great Wii games because I supported the fuck out of that system.
Nobody owns that Final Fantasy game. I don't know why. It's one of those things where you know how you played something, you started it, you liked it, but then something happened in your life where you never got around to it, and you just want to go back.
That's how I feel about Fat Princess on PS3. I think it's called Fat Cake Princess. Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah. That seemed really cool, but that game doesn't really have multiplayer community anymore. And I'm like, damn, I'm sad I missed out on it because I just never owned a PlayStation. So it's fair.
All right, and Milk, where can people find you at?
They can find me at Space Milk Cutie on Twitch, and I play a bunch of stuff. I just did a Mario stream with Mario Tennis, and Mario's Missing. That was a nightmare. Bug Fables, Dead Rising, Garfield Kart, still a little bit of everything. Probably eventually going to be Force Unleashed 2 on Wii.
Did you ever finish Dead Rising doing that achievement yet?
I'm working on the side. I kind of got busy with those other projects in the middle, but it's because I want to get all the boring, slow achievements off stream and then get the last one on stream. But I still do Frankie the Fish. I plan to boot that up again, where I just got little Frankie in the corner eating food, hanging out.
Where I have to remind you, hey, you need to go heal him or he's gonna die.
I don't like giving you anxiety while you're at this. I gotta watch this virtual fish while I'm at my job, and there he's about to die. Oh yeah, thanks.
You're so stupid.
I love it.
All right, and Trey, where can people find you at?
You can find me all over the place. Look for our weekly Nintendo podcast called Nintendo Main. Both of you have been guests on that show before, so you can listen to that. Yeah, if you look up Nintendo Main, you'll find it all over the place. On the site that's forever called Twitter, you can find me on there at Nintendo_domain. I made sure and posted the credits of this game to prove that I beat it in case nobody believed me. Ever. Like we do with every game that we beat, I always post the credits on there, and other people can as well if they want. We have a couple listeners that do that, but yeah, and you can find us on any whatever. Oh, also, I stream every Monday night, twitch.tv/Nintendo Main Podcast. We'll be playing we'll be playing the newest update for AEW Fight Forever, the game that's pretty much taken over my life since it came out. But wrestling games are fun again, sort of with glitches, but it's still cool. Check that out.
Hopefully they keep supporting it, because I've been listening to your episodes and I wonder sometimes. So.
There's another patch. Another patch came out, so
you're playing Dead by Daylight on Switch, aren't you?
I just started playing last week, actually, and I
you
remember
were the only person I know. You're the only person I know. Wow.
My friend Joe that I play AEW with, he's playing it too. So there's two.
That just shocked me. I know. I was trying to wait till after stream, but I was so shocked and surprised. I was like, wow, I've never seen the Switch gameplay for this. That's neat.
It has whatever. It was on sale it was like a Halloween thing.
Yep.
It was like $12 or whatever, and you could buy like DLC for super cheap. Like I got Nightmare on Elm Street for like $2 and Hellraiser for $2 and Ash. I was like, cool, I like this stuff. Why not?
It's very worth it for that stuff. It's some neat stuff in there.
Yeah.
Right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there are over 550 other episodes of this podcast. Go look through our giant backlog. We have done a ton, and I mean a ton of Star Wars stuff. So go listen to all that if you want. We do movies, comics, TV shows, all sorts of random crap. So go look through our giant catalog. If you want to support the show, we do a Patreon. Little dog, you can vote in our Patreon poll. You'll see one. We have one every month to help affect the show. You get to pick an episode that's going to be on the show. And tell me to do. And please join our Discord. See a link in the show notes to that too. And we love having more people join that. So go join that. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube audio only. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. You'll see a link to her link tree with some of her different stuff that she does. She's on Twitch. She's on TikTok. She's TikTok famous, actually. So definitely go check her out on there. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker. Did the MCU movies with me. He's on the show quite often for my movie episode. Started his own podcast, A Gamer Looks at 40. Definitely go check him out. And want to give a shout out to Nomads of Fantasy and their podcast that I've been on a few times and worked with. So check them out too. And I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.